What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Our summer is over and the dark nights are drawing in, but we're up here at Anglia Car Auctions trying to find some winter projects and some bargains, to be honest. So we've travelled up here today. We're going to be having a look around quite a lot of the cars that tickle my fancy. I'm going to include the Saturday cars in this video, and there'll be a separate video for the Sunday cars. So without further ado, let's start having a look around and seeing what some of these classic cars go for. Come on in, let's start this auction video off as we mean to go on with this tidy little no reserve Mark I Fiesta. Now this has been stored up for quite a few years as its last MOT expired in 2003. All over the Mark I Fiesta we've got a slight bit of surface rust, but this has been dry stored in a garage for over 20 years, and I think it's actually preserved the Mark I Fiesta really well. Inside we've got this striking orange interior, which seems to be a little bit grubby, but I'm sure with a little bit of cleaning up and a weekend's worth of work, you could make this nice and presentable again. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys this Fiesta is completely mint, but let's just take this rear lower quarter section. These always go. They really hold in the moisture, and this one has got the tiniest bit of surface rust, just like the seals. I really do think that if you went over this with a fine tooth comb, you wouldn't find too much welding to do, and you might want to keep the slight patina, as it does have a few spots on the roof, and to get them out you would really need a full respray. Under the bonnet is a little scabby. It features the 1.1 litre engine and also has servo assisted brakes, because not all these Mark I Fiestas came with a servo, so that's a nice little bonus. Now the little Mark I Fiesta has only covered 96,000 miles and is offered as a no reserve. Really interested to see what that goes for. I don't know, I'm guessing about 3 or 4 grand, maybe even more, but let's find out. Little Mark I Fiesta just come in, it's starting at 500 quid. Surely it can't go that cheap. We're going slightly more modern now with this land yacht, this massive 1993 Vauxhall Senator 3 litre. One thing I'm loving from the off is these Vauxhall alloys. These really remind me of the old school BMW BBS alloys. Yeah, they're really nice, just my cup of tea. Inside just looks like a really comfy place to be. These seats are actually heated. It's got Vauxhall's LCD screen, which hopefully we'll see lit up just before it goes under the hammer shortly. It also has an electric sunroof. It's quite a spec'd up model because it is the CD trim level, and I really like it in here. Wouldn't mind being a passenger in this car either, because there's loads of room in the back. The Senator features a 3 litre straight 6 engine. It does have an automatic gearbox. I bet this would be a lovely cruiser. Now this had a little bit of work done recently, including a new cylinder head gasket, auxiliary belt, spark plugs, throttle sensor and fresh gearbox oil. I'm going to put this out there, I really like this Senator, and it's only showing 62,000 miles. It's on the road with MOT until April next year, and it's only estimated £4,000 to £6,000, which I don't think is a lot of money for that car. £8,000, still going. 81, 82. Sorry. I'd just like to welcome this video sponsor, Car Vertical. Now they offer vehicle history checks in over 30 countries using over 900 sources. When purchasing a car, Car Vertical can detect past accident damage, mileage discrepancies, theft records and do a financial check on the vehicle. Take a look at this one for an example. Entered into the auction is this BMW M635. Now I've punched in the registration into Car Vertical, I've scrolled down and it's got some damage on it. When we click on that, we can find out that it was a Category D insurance write-off, meaning that it was non-structural. I'm assuming it's been repaired, but it's always good to know the history of a car before purchasing it. Whether you're purchasing a car at an auction like this, or you're buying one private, or even in a dealership, you can always have a look on Car Vertical to find out a vehicle's history. And if you don't get a result, Car Vertical will automatically refund the check. Now, if you use my code Mitch on Car Vertical, you can get 20% off your Car Vertical check today. Don't be in the dark when purchasing a used vehicle, because Car Vertical is literally a tool in your pocket. And don't forget to use code Mitch for 20% off your report. Let's take a look around this BMW M635 CSI then. So this was the performance pinnacle of the E24 range. It's being sold as a project, having been stored in a garage for the last 23 years. The BMW does come with some old parts receipts and some sale invoices. As you can see in here, it's going to need a real good tidy up. There's stuff everywhere, and it does look like it comes with quite a few book packs there. Someone has definitely loved this. It done 110,000 miles before it was taken off the road in 2002, and ever since then it's been laid up unused. The whole car, including the engine, is going to need a full recommissioning, although you do have that massive power plant. It's the 3.5 litre straight six engine. Looks like there's a little bit of rust starting to appear around here as well, especially on the wing over on this side. And this was a Category D write-off in 2001, so I'm not too sure whether that prompted it to be taken off the road and unused for this many years. The BMW is fitted with these different style of wheels. I thought it had centre lockers on it for a sec, or is that just a cap? I'm not 100% sure. Be cool if it did have centre lockers on it. Anyway, it's still worth quite a lot of money, even in this condition, which needs a full restoration. The estimate on it is £12,000 to £15,000.
I can see you hovering at 11,800, I'm sure it'll come. At 11,800, 12, there'll be a client to take a job at 12,200 only. That's sold 12,000.
What have we stumbled across here? So this is a very early Sierra. It's a 1983 Ford Sierra, and this one's actually fitted with the V6 engine. Really do like the interior on these though, quite driver focused, with the dashboard being sort of angled towards the driver. Now this one's in relatively decent condition, seats are nice, and it's looking like a presentable car so far. Now one thing you should always check for when looking to buy a classic car, or any car in fact, is the body gaps and the lines. So on the Sierra, the wing to bonnet on this side looks fairly decent. Can't fit my finger in that one, but when we go over to the near side of the vehicle, this one is a lot larger. I can almost fit my finger in that. So whether it's had a new wing or bonnet, or maybe even a little tap in the past, who knows? I think the wing is actually a slightly different colour. The Sierra has got MOT until December of this year. The vendor has said that it runs and drives well. It's only had 6 former keepers, and it looks like a tidy motor. There's definitely no rust sort of bodywork wise. It's definitely had a few little paint jobs in the past, but it looks to be a decently presented example. Under the bonnet really isn't bad either. There is the 2.3 litre V6 engine. This would definitely go well considering it's a V6 and it's a manual. I think that would be lots of fun. Now this is actually, I think, guided really sensibly at just £2,500 to £3,500.
2728, 29, 3000, 31, 3100, 32, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 3600.
The hall's really waking up now. There's two hall bidders going at it. It's at 6,100 now. 6.2.
6.4, 6.5.
I did think this was underestimated.
Well, at 71, down. At 71, it's open for that Ford Senator away for the third. 7-1 for the big. For the second. Third, final time. At 71. That's all about Ford 71. Thank you for that.
Well, we've came across our first commercial of the sale in this 2000 Skoda Felicia Coupe van. So as you can see, it's got the massive Coupe box on the back, but I actually quite like this. It's very unique. Now I'm seeing this in person, it does look quite peculiar, although it has been tastefully modified. It's been lowered and it's also featuring the split rim alloys with the Skoda sensors. I really do like that. Bodywork on this looks decent as well, doesn't look too bad. The Skoda has got 102,000 miles on the clocks, although the vendor states that the mileage has stopped clocking up, so whoever purchases the Skoda will need to look into that. And this covered 72 miles to get to the auction. It's always a little bit more reassuring when they've been driven to the sale. Just come to the rear and it really reminds me of a Renault 5 van. It's just got that look to the rear doors, and inside it's actually fairly spacious, and the Coupe section is made out of fiberglass. The engine fitted to the Skoda is a 1.9 diesel engine, so this is a direct injection engine. You've got the pump here which is driven off of the cam belt, very similar to the engine I've got in my Mark IV Fiesta van. I was just reading up a little bit more and it stated that the odometer stopped reading in 2017, so the mileage could be a lot more than 102,000, but it's quite a nice little quirky van, and it's estimated £4,000 to £5,000.
28, that 28 bid, 28, I'll take 3. That 28, what 3? That 3 the bid, 3,000, that didn't see now. All done, all sure, that 3,100. The visual that on the internet machine.
Take a look at this little beauty. The vendor has described this as in time warp condition. It's a 1996 BMW 318 Ti, and it's gleaming. I think someone's definitely buffed up that red paintwork. Sometimes it's quite hard to show you guys the condition of these vehicles, but this one is absolutely immaculate. And not only is it immaculate, it's also had main dealer BMW maintenance for most of its life. Just check out the condition of them seats, really nice. It even has a little note inside saying that the original brochure, service book and handbook are included with the sale. I think someone's definitely looked after this, and you wouldn't be surprised that this has only had one owner from new. The compact BMW is showing a modest 77,000 miles. It's believed that this was unused for a couple of years due to the owner's passing, although it has recently had a new clutch and oil change, and then it's been entered into the auction. Nice little original touch that's still featured on the BMW is the dealer rear window sticker, along with the matching Wiggins dealer number plates. I've lifted the bonnet and this is just such a clean example. There doesn't seem to be any surface rust or corrosion to worry about. The alley's starting to go a little bit on the rocker cover and the inlet manifold, but you could always take that off and get it vapor blasted. I'm sure that would come up a treat. The BMW is MOT'd until October 2026, so you've pretty much got a full year's ticket on it. And the more important thing is that it's offered as a no reserve. So let's find out what that goes for.
That 2,000, that 2 ones on the neck now, 21, 22. That 22, that 22 right there. That 22, that 22, we're in the room. Again, 25, 25, 27. 26 on a minute, 26 a bit. Twice you're out the internet, make no mistake. That 2950. That's sold, that's right. 1737.
Now this usually isn't a motor I'd gravitate towards, the old Mercedes, but there's a chap at my new workplace who really likes these, so we're going to have a little browse around it. Now this is a 1984 Mercedes 280 SL Auto. I'm really quite liking the look of it. It's covered 119,000 miles. The vendor purchased this a couple of years ago, but has done quite a lot of work since. Some of the maintenance includes a fuel pump, radiator, front and rear brake discs and pads, new rear calipers and refurbished front calipers, along with a brand new battery. So it's great to know that all of them service items have already been replaced recently. Just open the bonnet and here is the straight six. Now I'm going to say 2.8 litre because it's a 280 SL. I could be showing my naivety here, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 2.8 litre straight six engine. I'm sure it'd sound amazing when it starts up, so I'm going to have to get a clip of that. Now that's just a little brief look around it. I don't know too much about these, as I've already said, but the estimate is £7,000 to £9,000.
That's 78, I'll take 8 bid at 8,000 there. 82, 82 on the bid at 82, the bid back to the roof. 84, get the all there. 86 down here, the bid 88. 88 on the bed at 9,000 here. That 9 down, that 9 down, no it's in the room. For the second, final time, a fuel total.
Next up, I found this little 1995 Mark III Ford Fiesta. It's a 1.1 quarts, very similar to the one I sold in Anglia Car Auctions last sale a couple of months ago. Apart from this one is a 4-door and not a 2-door. Being a 4-door model, these are usually a little bit less desirable, so I think this will go slightly more cheaper than mine sold for. It does have a sunroof as well, although I'm still scarred because I don't have the best of luck with sunroofs. I always end up buying a car and it ends up leaking. Looking around the Fiesta, it's had a couple of patches of welding, just like most of them have had. Although both of the sills are now in tinted undersill, so it's been colour coded to the car, but it is now sort of an undersill. On the sills, if you can see, it sort of has been brought right up to the door shut here. Not terrible, at least you know they're solid, I guess. Here's a little 1.1 litre engine. This has only covered 80,000 miles and has got valid MOT until August 2026. So pretty much a full year's ticket on it. Although the vendor has described the brakes as spongy, so that will need attention. Anyway, it's a no reserve, so let's find out what that makes. Starting a little Fiesta off at £1,200. I think it's only worth about 1,500. Nice and presentable though, would do someone perfectly. 1,300 plus fees, that's going to be under 1,500. We've got another cool commercial to look around now in this 1991 VW Caddy pickup, which originally came from South Africa, where these were sold as the VW Bakkie. The Caddy hasn't been in the UK for long, as it was registered here in 2023, so just a couple of years. And there seems to be a little bit of a swimming pool forming in the rear bed, so that's going to need sorting out. Maybe a nice cover over the top, which will keep it watertight, or even just drill a hole in that floor. I've always liked the embossed Volkswagen lettering on the rear tailgate, but where this Caddy really shines is under the bonnet. So this pickup would have started its life with a 1.8 litre engine, although that's been replaced with a 2 litre 8-valve GTI engine, which is really cool. And it's also running a racing ECU, although the vendor explains that it would need a different ECU and possibly a loom tidy up because the emissions caused by the current ECU are too high to pass an MOT test. I think this Caddy is quite cool. Its MOT expired last year, and it is a bit rough and ready on the bodywork side of things, but it has covered 340,000 kilometres, which is just crazy. So yeah, hasn't fared too badly, and it's offered as a no reserve.
Then we go on to 443 38, at 3,800 up in there, 39, at 39 up in there, at 3,009, 4,000 bid, at 4,001, 41. At 4,100 up in the room into that you're out at 4,1. At 5,000, don't stop on an even. At 5,000, at 1, 5,1.
Find one of this going twice, you're buying it at £5,100 for this. Find one, it's always worth going the extra 100. Your number.
Here's one I haven't seen at the auctions too much before. This is a 1994 Audi A.T Coupe. Now this is fitted with a 2.6 V6 engine, so this would go like stink when you put your foot down. The mileage on the Audi is reading 144,000 miles, and this ran out of MOT in April earlier this year. But dare I say it, could this be a nice little winter project for someone to put back on the road over the winter and enjoy next summer? With 9 previous keepers and 144k on the clock, this Audi has definitely lived a life. It's started to show as well, just on this roof ever so slightly. A bit of lack appeal up there, which is going to need to be addressed if you want to put it back to a nice and presentable state. But you don't really see these anymore, and I think it's a cool car. Not a classic yet, but could it be a future classic? Well, it's offered here at Anglia Car Auctions with an estimate of £2,500 to £3,500.
At £3,000, first, second, that's one, that's 3-1. That's 3-1, just in time, 3-2. That's 3-2. I will take it to number 3 to come in. That's 3-4. That's Skoda, and 34.
Well then, a little bit of my childhood is represented here in this Arena Essex recovery truck. So this is a 1984 Bedford CF recovery truck, which I think has had a little bit of work done to it recently to recommission it, but this was used at Arena Essex for many years, recovering old Granadas and banger cars off of the track and back into the pits. It's certainly got me feeling very nostalgic, especially because I used to go down to Arena Essex and watch the banger racing quite a lot of the weekends in my childhood. And it's got other people feeling quite nostalgic as well, because this has been shared online and people have been sharing their memories about Arena Essex and what a great track it was. The recovery truck actually looks in good condition, although it doesn't have MOT. The last one expired in 2019, but it would be great if someone could get this back on the road and even take it to a couple of classic car meets or shows next year, because it'd be great to see this out and about. I'm sure it would fill other people with nostalgia too. The recovery truck is actually fitted with a 2.5 litre Transit engine, although it's quite a snug fit to get my camera under there because the bonnet is catching on the front bull bars. I also just read up that it was built in 1984 but wasn't registered until 1988. The new owner of this, whoever wins it today, has got to apply for the V5 as well. But it's an interesting one, and yeah, I'm just really happy to see it here. It's offered as a no reserve. I'm really interested to see what this goes for. I reckon about £5,000. My dad reckons about £8,000 to £10,000, but you really can't put a price on nostalgia. Tyre's only flat at the bottom. It's quite loud, so I'm gonna have to speak for this one. 1,300, 1,400, 1,500. Someone's filled it up to £2,000. Just hit £3,000. Don't think it's going to stop there though. I said £5,000 as well. Here's a little bit of a curveball for the next classic. This is a 1993 Mercedes 280 TE Auto, but it's an estate. This is cool. It is so cool. I love it. It's got these AMG wheels with some small profile tyres. I'm not sure whether this has been lowered. It looks like it has been, but I'm not quite sure if they come this low. I presume they wouldn't. But yeah, right now you can't really see the image, but once this is all cleaned up, this would be a wicked little cruiser. Yet again, surprisingly, like quite a lot of the classics, it's got very little mileage on it, just 67,000. It's finished in this blue cloth interior. Quite a nice pattern on them seats and on the door cards. I really don't mind this at all. It is going to need some attention though. It's looking really scruffy and quite dirty, so it's going to need a good valet, but yeah, you could really turn this interior around with a good scrub up and a weekend's work. Originally from Brighton, it doesn't give you the best hope for the condition of the underside, as it might be a little rotten, and it is actually a 7-seater, even though there is part of them rear seats missing. It's got a 2.8 litre V6 engine. It's an automatic, so it'll be just a motorway cruiser, but I really like this. It doesn't come with a lot of information or history. I don't actually think there's any maintenance records that come with this at all, but it's a no reserve.
A 2.7, looking for 8 quick anywhere, but a 2.7. At £2,700 it is there now going once. 2.7 it is now going twice. Gavel's up and it's selling outright at 2007 for the last. That's yours.
Here we go, Escort van. Now, this is an interesting one because it's been off the road for 12 years, which takes us back to probably 2013, but it's a 2001 motor. So, in that 12 years, from 2001 to 2013, it's covered 310,000 miles. And at first, you might think, oh, that's loads of mileage, it's going to be a dog. But you know what? I really don't think it is. These van panels are probably the straightest I've seen in quite some time. If we take a dive inside, it's not the cleanest, no, because it's been unused for 12 years, since 2013. But I don't think this is bad at all. It really isn't. The rear is just untouched, as it is. A little bit dirty. The seats aren't bad. It's got electric windows. And I think this is the one to buy. For instance, take these rear arches, which on some of them are absolutely rotten. Yeah, we have got a little bit of surface rust, just starting to kick in down here, but nothing terrible. And I've checked on both of the sills, and these aren't bad either. They might need a couple of little patches of welding, but they're certainly not completely rotten. I think wherever this Escort van has been stored has been a decent location and fairly dry and moisture free. I think without getting carried away, what I'm trying to say with this Escort van is don't let the mileage put you off, because you can get Escort vans that have done 70, 80, 90k here at Anglia Car Auctions, and they will just fetch ridiculous prices. They'll go for £3,000, £4,000, and this one, although it's been off the road for a little while, and although it's got that high mileage, I don't think it's a bad van to buy at all. I said I weren't going to get carried away, and here I am kneeling down at the rear section. Now where these really go is the leaf spring hangers, up here on the chassis legs. They also go where the shock absorbers mount to the body, and a couple other various locations. But having a little brief look, this isn't too bad at all. Might need a few little bits of welding, but honestly, compared to some of the Escort vans, this isn't a dog. Under the bonnet certainly hasn't been cleaned up at all. Will need a little bit of recommissioning, a good service. You probably want to do all the brakes and bits and bobs like that. But under here we do have the 1.8 Endura turbocharged engine, so it's slightly faster than the non-turbo variant. Yeah, I think this is a great one to buy. It's offered as a no reserve as well, but if people are looking around this, then I think it will fetch decent money because it looks like a decent van. If this goes for anything between £1,000 and £1,500, then I think someone's got a bargain. Here we go, Escort van, £800. I'll be lying if I said I wasn't tempted, but I reckon this will go 1,500. It will wait. Nah, it will. There you go. Grand. It'll go 1,500. The body's too clean. I'll tell you what. The market for these is strong. 18. I paid £2,000 for mine a couple of years ago, and it was on like 90,000 miles. And this one's done 310,000 miles, and it hasn't got MOT. Clean van though, despite the mileage. 1.9. Here's another interesting classic. This is a 1995 LTI Fairway Driver taxi, which was originally green and probably used in the streets of London for most of its life, although it has now been converted into a wedding vehicle. Now, this has been stored up since COVID times and has just been brought out to be sold here at Anglia Car Auctions. You can see that quite a lot has been done. You've got like different seat covers now, the dash has been painted, got some nice new carpet in there. carpet in the back and some seat covers as well, some fluffy white seat covers. I've just spotted some really interesting information on here as well. It says that this taxi had its first and second life as a London taxi because the legal age limit for an inner London taxi is 12 years. But after they reached 12 years, they were either fully refurbished by a dedicated London taxi garage or they were sold and then went elsewhere. So this one spent 24 years in London until 2019, and then I can only presume that someone then turned it into this wedding car, which is really cool. It gets you thinking, like, would be quite a cool side hustle if you buy this, make sure it's mechanically sound, then you can just charge people, what, 500, 600 quid to take them to and from their wedding and to the venue and back. It's just, I don't know, it gets you thinking, doesn't it? Quite a cool little quirky thing, and it's covered like nearly 400,000 miles. I'm pretty sure these engines just go on and on. The estimate on the old London taxi is £3,000 to £4,000.
That's 2,600 pounds worth of thing. That's 2,600 pounds worth of offer. That's 2,600 pounds order. That's got more money.
Next up, I've found one of these iconic French hot hatches in the 205 GTI. This is a 1989 model, and the MOT expired in August of this year. I do love the red carpets in these GTIs. The seats have seen better days, although it has covered 144,000 miles. But when you combine that high mileage with no MOT, it actually makes for quite a tempting estimate on the GTI. You can get these in a 1.6 GTI and a 1.9, and this one is the latter. 1.9 engine, so it's going to be nippy as anything, but it doesn't come with a lot of history or paperwork, so it probably is going to want a cam belt doing and a full service just for peace of mind. The GTI does, however, only come with a V5C, so a new one will need to be applied for, and of course it will need to be trailered away. But at the estimate of £5,000 to £6,000, I think this as well could be a great little winter project to get back on the road for next summer. Doesn't seem like a lot of money for that. £5,000.
They should be handled everywhere. That's £5,000, line one. Line one on bid, that's line one on the bid, that's line one on the bid. That's seven on the bid, that's line seven. That's line seven on the bid, that's line seven. That's line seven, I'll take eight anywhere, eight the bid, it's line eight. Twice, I'll take 59 anywhere before it goes. Line eight, very close on the edge, just.
Here's another old classic with a tempting estimate. This is a 1963 Ford Cortina Deluxe. This is quite an old one compared to some of the stuff we've been looking at. It's got a few little bits where it's starting to go, especially just on the roof here. But I'll tell you what, for the best part of it, it's not terrible at all. All the interior is nice. Got the door cards looking in great condition still, along with the seats as well. This is obviously MOT and tax exempt now, so can be enjoyed all year round without worrying about them, although you do still need to keep the car in a roadworthy condition. The Cortina has only had 4 previous owners, and 2 of them were from the first owner, so I can only presume that someone purchased this from new, then sold it, and then further down the line they repurchased it, which is quite interesting. They must have loved this car. Now, one thing I'd do to this, or a couple of things I'd do to this, is I'd lower it and I'll put some deep steel wheels in it. I think that would look wicked. But saying that, it does look like it's in really original condition, so I guess the buyer probably wouldn't want to ruin it and modify the lovely Cortina. Here is the 1200 pre-crossflow engine with its dynamo. It has had quite a few patches here, including the strut tops, they've been done, and also just up the top there is another big patch of welding. It's always a little bit worrying where people have been tapping the seals and there's literally rust from the car on the floor. It is starting to go in quite a few places actually, especially that front panel as well. But I did say it had a tempting estimate, and the estimate is only £5,000 to £6,000. Considering this is a Mark 1 Ford Cortina, that seems pretty cheap. 4.7 for a two-door Mark 1. That is ridiculously cheap.
That's all done. I'll take 5 down anyway. That's 5 down. That's 5 down from here. For the first, that's 5.3. I'll take 5 for the second. Third, 5 time, 5.3. Provisional bid.
We do talk about rare cars quite a lot on the channel, but this really is rare. This is a 1974 Ford Granada Coupe, and I've been coming to Anglia Car Auctions for, I don't know, 3 to 4 years now, and I've never seen one of these go through the auction, but there is actually 2 of them here this weekend that are going under the hammer. Admittedly, this example is a little bit rough. I think it's starting to go around the windows because there's been some paint added, and also the vinyl roof has been taken off and then someone sprayed it matte black. There's remnants of silicone around the sunroof as well, and it's still got some of its vinyl on here, so yeah, the roof really isn't the best condition at all. I don't mind the interior in this at all. I'm really liking the blue seats matching the blue door cards. It's showing 20,000 miles on the clocks, although I'd assume that's probably 120, but you can always ask the auction house. Sometimes they do warrant mileage and sometimes they don't warrant mileage. I've just been reading up, and the exterior colour was originally Arizona gold, although it did have a respray, a full respray in white at some point, and that's when the vinyl roof was added as well. The description also reads that the car was first registered on the 25th of October 1974 and spent some time of its life in Ireland, and the vendor has had it re-registered in the UK. Here's the 3-litre V6 engine that powers the Granada. It's recently had a new fuel sender unit, it's had a new alternator and water pump, so a little bit of recommissioning has already been done to it. It is obviously tax and MOT exempt, it will be running through the auction house, and the estimate on it is £4,000 to £6,000. Granada's struggling to come in, just stalled again. I think it's the actual car's issues rather than the driver's. Don't think it'll start again. No horsepower on this one, just free manpower. Someone had a cheeky haul bid and it looks like they're buying it. Who's got a bit of love for this little Ford Puma then? This is a 1999 Ford Puma 1.7 litre engine. These are quite the nippy little things, and a future classic. Now this was owned by one lady owner until May 2024 when it was sold here at Anglia Car Auctions and a Ford enthusiast purchased it. The Puma is in great condition, and this is helped by the low mileage of just 59,000. I think it's nice in here. It looks like it's been treated well and had a easy life. Someone's definitely looked after it, and it does have 20 service stamps in the book, 19 of which are from the same dealer. The engine bay is in immaculate condition with that 1.7 litre engine. It's also got a advisory-free MOT on it until September next year, so it can be driven away from the sale today. Since the vendor purchased this last year, the Puma's undergone some rust proofing. It's also had some new rear brakes, some handbrake cables and ABS sensors. It looks like a tidy example, and it's a no reserve, so it's very hard to put a price on something like this. It's really clean, I like the look of it, and we'll see what it goes for.
That's 1,700, that's 18, 19, that's 1900, that's 1900, then 2, 1, that's 21, 22, 23, 2300, or 4, that's 27, 28, that's 28, that's 28, we're back on the left. The final time, I'll give you all plenty of time, sold £3,000 into this one.
One thing I love about attending these auctions is the opportunity you get to look around some of these cars. Like, just look at this Thunderbird, it is amazing. It's actually a work of art. This is a 1963 Ford Thunderbird. I can only assume it came from the States. It was imported into the UK and registered here in 1996, so it's been in the UK for quite some time now. The Thunderbird has got some great detailing on it, and I love all of the chrome. I especially like the chrome strip that goes all the way along the sides here, and then it actually forms the door handle, which is just really neat. That chrome strip actually goes the whole length of the car. Just look at that. Don't get me wrong, it's going to need a little bit of work, this Thunderbird, because the chrome all around the window inside is actually starting to rust up quite badly, and the headlining is starting to sag down as well. The Thunderbird isn't in terrible condition when you take into account that it's quite an old vehicle. It doesn't look bad at all, and I'm sure the boys down at Chelsea Cruise would be really happy if they saw this turning up one evening. Anyway, it's offered as a no reserve.
At 3,000 in the room, 353637. Online at 37. At 3,700 pounds and then at 37. 4,000 pounds is now going twice down. Up your buyer, 4,000 pounds is the last. That's yours instead of 4,000 pounds. Thank you.
Well, that brings an end to day one up at Anglia Car Auctions for their 2-day sale. Don't forget to tune in next Thursday at 6 p.m. for day 2, because there's going to be plenty of other classic cars going under the hammer. Now, I just want to speak about a couple of my personal cars from day 1. First being that Mark 1 Fiesta. I thought that was a genuine, solid example, and the Mark 1 Fiestas are only getting rarer. It went for something silly like £2,200. Pretty cheap in my eyes, and I think someone got a bargain with that one. And secondly, that red Escort van. What I was trying to say is that even though it had done such high mileage, it was a decent van. But then I thought it was going to go cheap. I thought it was going to go maybe £1,000, £1,100, £1,200. But I think with the fees included, it sold for over £2,000, which is strong money again, considering it didn't have MOT and it had that really high mileage. But it was good to watch that go through the auction house anyway. I'm not going to waffle on too much in this outro because I'm fully aware this is a really long video already. But please do comment in the comment section below and let me know what your favourite pick of this sale was on day 1. And yeah, even suggest if you want me to look around different vehicles or different makes and models. I will always try and hunt down a classic car. If you want it looking around, I can wave my camera around it and then follow it through the auction house. Also, I just want to quickly touch on the fees up at Anglia Car Auctions. So they are 8% of the hammer price plus VAT on the fees. So that's 8% of the hammer price, and then you got VAT on the fees as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to their next sale, which is actually next year. I've got it written down here. It's on the 31st of January and the 1st of February. It's a weekend-long thing, so if you can make it up to Kings Lynn, it's always worth the trip. I will be missing it though, unfortunately, because I will be down under in Australia. Also, if you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, whack them down in the comment section below. I'm always reading through them and I try to reply to everyone. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel to see more. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.